Give to get what you want. Give first to get what you want. Get Up and Go Challenge P10. Today is our 10th day leading up to our next 30-day free Get Up and Go Challenge. Starting August 1st through August 31st. I know it's on a Saturday. We're starting on a Saturday, 11 a.m. Central, right here on the Get Up and Go Challenge page. And we're doing, excuse me, a 30-day Get Up and Go Challenge. 30 days to get you moving in the direction you absolutely positively want to and must go, to keep the momentum and the progress of your life going, to keep going, especially in times like right now where it's still chaotic and crazy, and between COVID and all the political unrest, because it's political unrest, it's not racial unrest in America that's going on. We need to make sure that we're taking control of ourselves, and this challenge is all about doing that, helping each and every one of us to do it, to take care of ourselves, to take care of those we love and care about, and make sure we're better off after all this craziness, after all this pandemonium, after all this pandemic settles down, and we go back to life. We're not going to go back to normal life as we knew it before, but we create a new normal. Whenever there's chaos and change in any situation or any area of our life, guess what? We are forever changed. There isn't a person on this planet that will not have been changed and impacted by COVID-19 and the impact that it's having on us and on the world. And so we want to make sure that we're having a say in that narrative, a say in those changes, not just letting them happen to us. So what the heck does giving to get what you want mean? What does that even mean? I'm sharing, as we lead up to the challenge, 10 of the biggest lessons that I've learned throughout my 60 years on the planet, throughout the trials and tribulations and the many, many hundreds and hundreds of challenges I have personally had to face and figure out and fight my way through or work my way through to learn. We talked about a couple of my favorite ones over the last couple of days that I learned from my dad. I learned them when I was pretty little, and I realize now that they have served me really well. Didn't always think that they did at the time when I was learning them, but once I made them my own, they have served me personally really, really well in my personal life, in my relationships, in my career, and in all areas and aspects of my life. Now today is one that is another one like that. It took me a long time to figure this one out. And it didn't mean I didn't give value and I didn't give to other people, I didn't care about other people. It just meant that my ego was overriding, and my I want to say selfishness, and I guess, yeah, selfishness. It's selfish when you're doing things for yourself in a way that doesn't consider other people, but it's selfless and self-love when you're just taking care of yourself in ways that contribute to the world positively and don't make the world a worse place, that help you but don't hurt other people. I guess that would be my definition. Just thought of those off the top of my head. So what does giving have to do with that? I know that when I was younger and I was just starting out in my life and in my career and with my family, I was more concerned about what I was going to receive, and in terms of compensation and jobs and what are they called, benefits, than what I was going to give. And it wasn't until later on that I realized that you need to reverse those things. Hey, here's what I'm going to do for you. And I guess I knew it, but not on a super duper conscious spiritual level. I knew, hey, you had to convince them and let them know all the things you could do for their company, or they weren't going to hire you in a job interview. I knew that, but I didn't internalize it. I didn't get that that's me giving value in exchange for the salary and the benefits that I would receive. I guess on a subconscious level, we kind of know that there's this bartering and this give and take, and there's this trading of value, but I never really thought about it until I started running my own businesses. And especially, this is really sad, but especially I didn't realize it on a conscious level as much as I have until I came online, until I started doing things in the online world. Because everybody says, give value, give value, give value, give value first, and then you'll receive, people will come to you. And I didn't get that. I mean, I knew it and I was doing it in the offline world, but I wasn't necessarily giving without the expectation of something in return. I was giving people value and sharing things, but I was expecting them to like and then buy the thing that I was sharing. Think, for example, of all the store demos we used to do in my Italian food manufacturing business. we would have somebody or me go out every weekend and demonstrate our food. You know, those in-store demos people used to do when we could go to grocery stores all the time. They would be cutting up and giving samples of their food all the time. We did that a lot in our business. And we did it not because we did it because we wanted people to try our product, because we knew if they liked it, then they would buy it. But we did it with the intention of getting people to buy our product. We didn't do it just because it was fun to go feed people every weekend, every Saturday and Sunday, and be in the stores in the frozen food section, no less, sharing our products and services. So that would be an example of giving with the expectation of something in return. Guess what? That doesn't really work. And I didn't internalize that or really grasp that until, kind of recently. But now I know with 100% certainty that life is an exchange of value. We give value to other people, and based on the amount of value that we give, and it can be emotional value, it can be love, it can be attention, it can be time, it can be energy. By giving people that value, by giving something away, we receive something in return. If you think about it, even if you work for a job, most of us have had a job at some point in our life. Guess what? Did you get paid before you did the job, or did you get paid after you performed the job? After, right? You worked for a week or two or sometimes a month, and then you got your first paycheck. You did something of value, and then you got paid. You provided a service, and then you got paid. Now, in some contract situations, you get a percentage up front, but it's very rare that you pay for something all 100% up front, and then you get the service or the product. But I know there's examples of that, so don't get carried away and start slamming the comments with, that's not true, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and giving me all the scenarios that happens in. Because guess what? No matter what I say, no matter what I do, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, there's always going to be somebody that can give you an example or contradict or have a different opinion about what you're saying. But I want you to test this for yourself. The cool thing about giving, and it's funny that, I guess on a subconscious level, I've always known it and understood it, but I wasn't consciously aware of it. Have you ever been in a sad mood and somebody smiled at you? All they did was give you a free smile, or they, complimented you and said, hey, you look beautiful today, or I like your scarf, or whatever. And that one act of kindness, giving on their part, immediately made you feel better. I know I've been there on lots of situations, and there's certain situations where strangers showed me a kindness that I totally didn't expect at the time in this situation that I still remember today. I still remember the woman that told me I was beautiful when I was having a fight with my then boyfriend, then husband, now ex-husband, and he was being very disrespectful and rude to me in public, and she overheard it. He didn't know, of course, she overheard it, but she overheard it, and she said something to me, and it made my day, and it made me feel better and know that I was being treated in a way that I shouldn't have been treated, which should have been an early warning sign, but of course it wasn't. Anyway, so my question for you today is, and that's the thing about giving. Giving is one of those things that's a win-win situation automatically, because the person that gives receives a good feeling because they've given something to someone else. Giving feels way better, believe it or not, and some people argue with me on this. Giving feels better than receiving. I always feel better when I am giving gifts and giving presents to other people than when I'm receiving them. I always feel better when I'm sharing information and giving knowledge to other people. Now, that's not necessarily true, because I love getting information. I love learning and growing, but I also love giving value and giving information to people. But the cool thing about giving is you win, the person you give to wins, and a lot of times there's a ripple effect of that giving, and it benefits many, many other people along the way. Because usually when you help someone out or give something of value to somebody, they might not be the person that returns that value to you, but that value and that whatever you've given out, whether it's money or time or attention or love or feelings or energy, will be coming back to you, and it's usually tenfold. I think the Bible says whatever you give out, you get back tenfold. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on the reference, but I believe for some reason that's in my mind. So my question for you today is, how are you currently giving? How are you giving time, attention, influence, resources, money, value? What value? Information, And knowledge is one of the best things that you can share. We're all awesome at doing something, and we can share that gift by teaching other people how to do it, by sharing how we do something. You know, we all have knacks for doing certain things, and maybe that's just the one thing that somebody needs to know right now. But the easiest thing to do is to share your love and attention and your smile and your energy and your compliments with other people, because people are starving to be acknowledged and have attention in this world. That's why there's so many influencers and there's so many people out screaming, look at me, look at me, look at me, I'm awesome. Because they need attention. People need attention. So how are you, our challenge today is, how are you currently giving? Share in the comments below. You know, I do challenges. I give. One of the ways I give is by doing challenges. Sharing the crap that it's taken me decades to learn, so that you don't have to make all the mistakes and bang your head against the wall figuring stuff out about certain areas and aspects of life that it's taken me, you know, maybe 55 years to figure out some of these things. Or to actually be able to put a name to it so that I can describe and explain, hey, it's really true. What you give out in the world is what you get back in the world. And no, it's not from the same person. You know, we all know people that give and they do you favors, but a favor is different than giving, right? If I do a favor for you, that means I'm expecting you to do a favor for me in the future. That's not giving. That's, you know, giving an IOU, or it's like a lending from a bank. Hey, they're giving you the money right now, but you got to pay that back plus interest. That's what doing favors is, and that's kind of the difference to me is, yep, you did me a favor, that was really awesome. Now I got to figure out a way to pay you back and repay that favor. That's reciprocal. But guess what? Giving is reciprocal too, but it's reciprocal from the universe or from the world. It's not the same exact person that you give to. All right, that's my diatribe on giving today. Love to know your experience with that. I will be with you tomorrow. I'm trying to think about what today. Today's Wednesday, so Thursday, Friday, and we launch Saturday. So just a couple more days of lessons learned to share, and then we will be hopping right into our next Get Up and Go challenge. Again, 11 a.m. Central Time. It's going to be recorded, so don't worry if you miss it live, especially on a Saturday or Sunday. You can catch it on Monday. I'm going to keep them short and concise, especially in the beginning, unless y'all say, hey, let's dive into this deeper during the challenge, and then we'll do that too, because I want to make sure you're getting your needs met. But we'll start off with some short ones, especially on the weekends, so you don't feel like, oh, I have to spend, you know, an hour. I mean, some of these challenges that people are doing these days is they're really doing a you know, hour and a half to 3 hour webinar instead of a challenge, or they're doing an hour-long interview instead of a challenge. That's just another way of sharing information and calling it a challenge. Anyway, this will be a real challenge. We'll talk about something briefly. We'll give you an action to take based on that discussion every single day for 30 days during the month of August, to make sure that you are, to guarantee that you are better off on August 31st than you are on August 1st in, well, I'll surprise you in what area of your life, or all the areas of your life, or any area of your life that's most important to you. All right, have a great day. If I can help you in any way, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up in the comments below or direct message me, and I will be with you tomorrow.